The reason you struggle with fat loss isn't even your fault. It's because of our biology. We're hardwired to be apes and live in the wild. We haven't actually evolved to live like the modern man does. Our brains have evolved from millions of years of evolution and is extremely intelligent. But it doesn't give a shit about what you want. You want to be fit, exercise, eat well? Nah, fat chance, man. All it wants to do is survive and reproduce. Think about it. Why do we work? To survive. Why do we eat? Survive. Why do we do anything at all? Literally just to survive as an organism. Look, understanding this and what I'm going to say in the rest of the video is going to give you a massive competitive edge over everyone else trying to lose fat. And not just in fat loss, it's going to give you an advantage in every other aspect of your life. I will help you understand this, and I'll give you practical strategies that will help you avoid those pre-programmed responses that is going to make fat loss 10 times easier for you. Okay, first of all, we need some fundamental knowledge on what a cognitive bias is and how we actually filter information. We use our 5 senses, and then the 5 senses take that information and then process it instantly through our brain. And it runs through all of these cognitive biases. Basically, think of us as a computer and think of the cognitive biases as our operating system. All of our decisions and everything we do are ran through this operating system before a decision is actually made. It's a type of cognitive shortcut, a so-called heuristic. Heuristic that has evolved through time and was basically made to simplify our decision making, but ends up sort of fucking us over in the modern era. Our first bias is the present bias. It's basically just we overvalue immediate rewards and we undervalue long-term rewards. So we see the short term as more rewarding and we see the long term as it's far away in the future, who gives a shit. But right now, if there's something valuable to us right now, that's more important to us. It's like you say you want to lose weight, but then you're offered some pizza right now by a few friends. Everyone else is having pizza. Oh, why not? Let's do it right now. Or when you're home alone and there are snacks that are easy to access. Right now I'm hungry. Right now there are snacks. Oof. Fuck future Jacob, or whatever your name is. I want the snacks now. The instant pleasure right now feels more rewarding. It feels more grounded. It feels more realistic than that 6-pack healthy physique later does. But what you're essentially doing is trading that awesome physique, that health, all of the benefits that you're going to gain for 5 seconds of dopamine. And as all of these cognitive biases are, it's rooted in survival. We have evolved to think like this. In ancestral times, calories were rare, and your brains evolved to chase food now, not wait for a future reward. It needs to survive and eat now. But this doesn't seem very useful for us as in the modern era now, does it? No. And for a strategy to actually overcome this, I want you to imagine your future self right in front of you right now. Or whenever you're doing that bad habit, imagine their reaction. That does say reaction. No, whatever. Imagine your future self's reaction. So imagine you're about to eat junk food because it's available right now. Literally imagine in front of you, your future self looking at you. How will they feel? Do they feel regret? What? Disappointed in you? Are you still going to eat that food when your future self is looking at you? When you're so fucking disappointed in yourself? Would you respect yourself more or less if you ate this food? Would you respect yourself more or less if you did this? Is your future self going to look favorably or negatively against you for this action? Okay, number 2 now is loss aversion. So loss aversion is the tendency for people to act more to avoid losses than to acquire equivalent gains. It's basically saying losing feels worse than gaining feels good. Or you'd be twice as sad if you lost $20 as you would be if you gained $20. And then to use loss aversion in the context of fat loss, you don't want to lose your video games. You don't want to lose your junk food. You don't want to lose all that comfort. You have that right now, and you don't want to lose it. Even though by losing that or reframing it, you'd gain more confidence, you'd gain a healthier physique, you'd gain better dating options, you'd gain an overall better life. But since you value the loss of what you currently have more than the gain of like the confidence and all that, you're not going to act. Again, it's also rooted in survival, because in the wild, our brains have evolved to avoid loss, because in the wild, loss often meant death. Imagine we have a bunch of food saved up. If we lost that food, what would happen? We'd starve and die. Now, what happened if we gained a bit more food, alternatively to losing the food? Okay, gaining extra food is nice, but losing the food, now that is a fucking priority. If we lose food, we die. If we gain food, cool. That's something for the future, but not a priority. So now, to beat this fucking cognitive bias of losing feels worse and then gaining feels good, I want you to change your identity. Instead of aiming to lose 10 kilos, for example, set your goal to become the type of person who doesn't miss workouts, who actually likes to exercise, who is healthy. Like, you're so much less likely to avoid loss when you see yourself as like a disciplined man. When you see yourself as the healthy, disciplined man, that hit to your identity when you skip a workout, that's going to be painful. It basically threatens your identity and threatens who you are. So you are so much less likely to skip your workout. Like right now, for me, if I don't skip workouts, I just don't. It just isn't who I am. If I don't exercise within 2 days, I literally have withdrawal symptoms like a fucking crackhead. My body just sends signals, you need to go exercise. That's literally just how I am now. And that's how you need to become. You need to see yourself as the type of person that enjoys exercise, that enjoys working out, and that is a disciplined guy. Change your identity. This now is using loss aversion in your favor instead of against you. Because you don't want to lose that identity of being a fucking jacked guy. Now for the third cognitive bias, the status quo. It's basically a preference to keep things the way they are to avoid change. Your body wants to avoid change at all costs. And you stay stuck in your current routine. You stay stuck playing video games, watching porn, fucking eating junk food, not doing the habits that you want to do. All because it feels normal for you. It feels familiar. You've already been doing it for so long, so why change? And change just inherently feels like a threat to you. Even if what you're currently doing in actuality is actually making you miserable. Like young men specifically often say they want to lose weight, they want to change, they want to transform their lives. But deep down, part of their brain is just screaming at them, let's just keep doing what we've always been doing. We're safe here. And what do you think this is rooted in? You'll find that it's rooted in survival. Again, you'll find that's a common running theme for this video. Like in the wild, if we changed shit, there was a possibility of death as a result. Like if we switched routine, went a different direction one night, there might be a predator or an animal there and we might get fucking eaten. Or if we were to say try new food, poisoned, you're now dead. Or you try and stand out in front of your tribe. Try to put yourself out there. Now you're exiled from your tribe and now you're dead. Because again, we're social creatures and we are strongest when we work together. So your brain has basically evolved to say safe is same and change is equivocal to danger. Now actually, it's like that ancient wiring of your brain is acting like you're setting fat loss goals, and now that's equivalent to like a fucking bear attack. It's actually ridiculous how your brain works. And how the modern day man's like brain is just not evolved at all. We're still literally apes. But it's what it is, we gotta make do with what we've got. And now for the strategy, I want you to become painfully aware of the cost of inaction. So ask yourself a few questions. What actually happens if nothing changes? If I keep with my current routine, what does my life look like in 5 years? If I don't change, what does life look like? That is a powerful question, because you will often find that what your life will look like in 5 years is going to motivate you to no end not to fucking reach that future. Because if right now you've just let me paint this picture. Right now you're working a dead-end job, you have a horrible routine, you're not learning or doing anything to change your situation. How do you think you're going to be in 5 years from now? For some people, that can be a terrifying question, and they avoid asking themselves that question. Unfortunately, you need to take radical responsibility and start changing your life. One small step at a time. And what this does is it creates a massive pain, and pain is a fantastic motivator in order to get you to change. Pain is honestly the main motivator for people to change. If people don't like where they are right now, if people don't like something, they're going to pay to get it solved. Like literally every product is just that. A product exists to solve a problem. Like the sandwich shop, it exists to satiate your hunger. And the second part to beating the status quo is to become more open to new experiences. I want you to try new things. I know, very common fucking typical advice, but since we're trying to avoid change at all costs, by becoming the type of person that tries new things, we will be more likely to change the bigger decisions that actually matter. So, I want you to journal what does your life look like in 5 years if you don't change, the cost of inaction, and try one new thing each week. Just make it something simple. Go try a new hobby, go join a group, go fucking do something. Makes life better as well. So yeah, that was the 3 biases. There was the first one, there was present bias, where we overvalue the short term and we undervalue the long term. And then there was number 2, there was loss aversion, where we value loss, but we'll take more action to avoid loss than for the equivalent gain. And then the last one, status quo, where we will try to do everything we can to avoid change. And understanding that all of them are rooted in survival. We've evolved to be like this. They're there for a reason. And I've given you strategies to avoid all of them. I hope they've helped. I hope this video has been very informational. I've enjoyed researching cognitive biases. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Bye.